Qatar has a quirk. Business class seats on the airline within the Middle East are sold as first class. In this video, we'll take you along with us in front of the curtain on a 3-hour leg of our newlywed world tour honeymoon from Doha to Cairo to show you this not-so-secret first class. Hello, jet setters. I'm Jeb Brooks from greenergrass.com. Welcome aboard Qatar Airways First Class. But is it really first class? We'd flown into Doha the night before from the Seychelles on board a Qatar 777 in their older business class. We were excited because our flight to Cairo was scheduled to be in Qatar's industry-leading Q suites, a massive improvement over this. We got into Doha at midnight, but our next flight wasn't scheduled to leave until almost 9 in the morning, so we grabbed some sleep at the airport's transit hotel. It was comfortable, well appointed, and since it was behind security, incredibly convenient. We woke up in time to explore the First Class Lounge. Qatar's only dedicated long-haul first-class seats are on their 10 A380s. Each has only 8 first-class seats, which means the absolute most number of fully paid first-class long-haul passengers who might be here at any one time is pretty limited. But we accessed this lounge thanks to a quirky Qatar trick. For some reason, business class seats on regional flights within the Middle East, like ours to Cairo today, are sold as first class tickets. This is a distinction unique to Qatar. You won't see a similar option available on other Middle East airlines like Emirates or Etihad. Let me know in the comments, why is this? What's the reason for this Qatar quirk? Lots of lounges can feel full or overcrowded, but that's not the case here. And my favorite part of the space weren't the great views or the myriad amenities, but the collection of art throughout the space. The best part of the art collection was, without a doubt, the various examples of historical pieces from the region. It was really cool to learn a bit of history as we waited for our flight. This is a stunningly beautiful space and truly massive. There's a spa, duty-free, a game room, even a business center. We grabbed an a la carte breakfast and continued to explore. From the lounge, we made our way through the Doha airport, which, by the way, I found to be very confusing, over to our gate, where we caught a glimpse of the 777 decked out in the One World livery that would take us the 3 hours over to Cairo. Boarding began right on time and went smoothly. Here's Qatar's long-haul first-class seat. Pretty impressive, right? And here's the Q suites that our booking indicated we'd have on this flight today. But here's the first-class seat we discovered when we boarded. Now, let me be very clear. I'm not complaining even a tiny bit about this. This is a great seat. I'm merely pointing out the importance of understanding the idiosyncratic nature of first class at Qatar. Shortly after boarding, we were offered welcome drinks and Arabic coffee. The same experience you'd get if you were flying business class. Cheers. Our departure was delayed a bit due to congestion on the runway. This is a really busy airport at certain times. Maybe it was just me, but I didn't notice too much variety in terms of airlines here. But we eventually did make our way out to the runway for our departure. Doha looks remarkable, and seeing it on a clear day like this one made me want to head back, leave the airport, and explore the city. But we had something else on our mind today, a visit to Cairo. Let's take a look around the seat. If you look inside this cubby, you'll find a bottle of water. The tray table is large and sturdy. And at this bulkhead seat, you'll find the in-flight entertainment here. Now, I really struggled to get it out, so I just took a break and looked out the window. Eventually, with a good bit more effort though, I did get it out. It's a touchscreen and can also be controlled with this remote, but Suzanne's remote never did work. So we toasted the adventure instead. I ordered a pineapple punch mocktail, and Suzanne had the rosé champagne. Both were accompanied with warm almonds. Now, the wine list, it was identical to the ones we'd seen on our previous business class flights. I settled into my seat, which had more adjustments than I could count, and got ready for breakfast. Pause here to view the menu, or head over to greenergrass.com/menus to see this one, along with the wine list. Suzanne had the omelet, and I had the breakfast burrito. Both were massive. Qatar takes breakfast seriously. In fact, there was so much food here that neither one of us could finish it, but maybe that had to do with the fact that we'd already eaten back in the lounge. When we first booked this flight, it was scheduled to be in Q Suites, which we were excited about. We'd really enjoyed our experience in the Q Suites up to this point, but that was changed at some point to this older product. Suzanne's bulkhead seat, 5B, kind of stuck out in the aisle. She said it made her feel like she was in the way of flight attendants going back and forth through the cabin. Also, unlike the Q Suites, this older 222 configured 777 presents a challenge to passengers in window seats. How to get out without bothering your seatmate, especially if she's your new wife and is asleep. But I finally got out. The cabin is beautiful and was fairly empty on our trip. There were only 4 of us in this mini cabin. The rest of the plane seemed pretty full, though. Now, it's ironic that this less impressive cabin was branded as First Class, but aircraft swaps can happen anytime. So even if you think you've booked the latest and greatest Q Suites, I guess there's a chance you could end up in something like this. One nice feature of this older airplane is the moving map on the screens at the front of the cabin. It was really nice to keep track of where we were, especially because I've never flown over this particular part of the world. I loved knowing where we were as I looked out at this mysterious landscape. And this really highlights the best part of flying as far as I'm concerned. It's the opportunity it provides to connect to the rest of the world. But soon we began our approach into Cairo. In the next video, I'll highlight not only our experiences on board Egypt Air, but also some of what we did and saw during our visit here. And the good news is that we got an extra overview of the Nile before we touched down. You see, during our approach, we were held up as we circled over the Nile for an unspecified reason. After doing it about 5 or 6 times, we finally resumed our approach. Now, if you're ever lucky enough to find yourself flying into Cairo, be sure to grab a seat on the left side of the plane. If you're fortunate, like we were, and have a relatively clear day, you'll get a glimpse of the pyramids at Saqqara and even the ones at Giza. Now, it didn't matter what they called this. By nearly every measure, except for the lounge, it was an international business class flight, and a very nice one at that. I'm looking forward to reading your comments about why this is called First Class. If you're looking for a complete Jeb score, watch my recent Qatar Airways video in which the airline earned 22 out of 25 stars. This regional flight just isn't quite as comprehensive as that 12-hour journey. But as always, between now and the next time, see you in the sky.